Good morning, ma'am. Morning, ma'am.
Good morning. How is everybody doing?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Aditya.
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Can we have the cameras open? Yes. We were on chapter 6, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how much we have done, if you could tell? What did we do yesterday?
Till commercial agriculture.
We have to start with types of farming.
Okay, we have to start with types of farming. Right. Okay, just a short recapitulation. Why agriculture is important to us? Anyone from the class? Tarini?
Ma'am.
Why agriculture is
Good
important?
morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
May I tell?
Wait. Let Priya, let Tarini tell. Tarini?
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes. Why is agriculture important to us, Tarini?
Ma'am, it helps us in producing essential crops.
Okay. Then, what else? Okay. Bhavya, second reason why agriculture is important to us?
It gives us food and raw material, and also it is also plays a critical role, and it is the backbone of the economic system.
Okay. As you said, backbone of the economic system. How can it work as a backbone? What it supports?
It provides us the food and raw material, and also plays an important role for the employees to give them opportunity to make the profit.
Very good. See, raw material, we all know that there are several agro-based industries in our country, right? Right, class? Yes. So agriculture produces, certain raw material which is required by these industries. Like as Bhavya said, no, that it works as a backbone of the country. So backbone in the sense, of course, the food is supplied by the agricultural sector. Secondly, it also provides raw material for the industries in the country. Like if you talk about textile mills, which we have, jute mills, we have cotton mills, right? So jute and cotton, both we obtain from the agricultural sector. Then when we talk of the employment part also, she said, no, see, if you take a rough look at agricultural sector, you will find that, approximately 50% of the world's population is engaged in yes, Payal, you are not able to open your
Agriculture.
just a second, beta. Payal, you are not able to open your mic. You can rejoin the class, beta. Okay. See, it employs like 50% of the world's population is engaged in agriculture, and the best part of this agriculture is that you don't have to be a skilled worker for that. Whether you know the minute things of agriculture or not, still you can be part of agricultural sector, because it does not require any kind of skill in working on the fields, right? Right, class?
Okay, ma'am.
So agriculture, yes. If we talk about the importance of agriculture, we all know that it is very important, especially for a country like India, where the economy is agrarian, where maximum number of the people, two-thirds of its population is engaged in agriculture, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Now coming to the types of agriculture. See, we all know we all know that, you know, throughout the world, various agricultural practices are there. If we talk about the agricultural practices, see, there are there is, you know, subsistence farming, then there is commercial farming, there is plantation cultivation, there is mixed cropping, there is mixed farming, there is primitive subsistence farming, there is intensive subsistence farming, there is nomadic herding, right? All these practices that we have, they are all part of the agricultural sector only. But then how these agricultural activities are carried forward, or how they are undertaken, this majorly depends on the places, on the you know, physical division of the country where these agricultural practices are taking place, right? Right, children?
Okay, ma'am.
Now, if we talk about the types of agriculture, in your book, as per your book, agriculture has been categorized into two categories. One is the subsistence agriculture and the other is the commercial agriculture, right? Now, when we talk of subsistence agriculture, as a subsistence, you know, meaning what is the meaning of subsistence? Can anyone tell in the class? What do you mean by subsistence?
Ma'am, to grow crops in a quantity that it fulfill the requirement of our home and our family. Ma'am, and no surplus product is.
No surplus production is there. But then if I ask you only subsistence, what is meant by subsistence? Meaning of subsistence?
Domestic use.
Huh?
Little amount of domestic consumption.
Something that is used by the family, by our family.
Ma'am, required amount of.
Subsistence means?
Required amount.
Ma'am, required amount.
Sufficient or required amount that is needed for the daily survival, or something that is required in very less amount for the survival, right? And when we talk of the subsistence agriculture, we actually mean that subsistence agriculture is a practice where the food crops are grown only for the consumption within the family, right? Right? Now, this subsistence we all know that agriculture is an activity that has evolved since ages. Aap dekho, when the early humans, they started living a settled life, they started cultivating. When they started cultivating, when they started agriculture, then only they started living a settled life. Otherwise, they were wanderers. They used to move from one place to another in jungles, you know, live in caves, on trees, right? But then when they started agriculture, they started living a settled life, and whatever they were producing, the only motive was to fulfill the needs of the family. Whatever was grown, that was consumed within the family itself, right? Right?
Okay, ma'am.
Now, when we have to categorize this subsistence agriculture, we categorize it into two categories. One is primitive subsistence agriculture and the other is intensive subsistence agriculture. Now, talking about primitive, what is meant by primitive? Only primitive word. What is the meaning? Angel?
Ma'am, to move from one place to another.
Primitive.
Yes, ma'am. Moving from one place to another.
Primitive means very old.
Huh. Primitive means
Yes, ma'am.
very old, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Or in other words, we can say primitive is something which is not developed, right? Which is not developed.
Yes, ma'am.
So when we talk of the primitive subsistence agriculture, we are actually talking about the age-old practices where no modern equipments or modern methods are used for cultivation, where the traditional methods are used, traditional tools are used for cultivation, right? Right?
Okay.
Okay. Now, if I ask you, Ved, what are modern methods of cultivation? Can you tell?
Yes, ma'am. Like drip irrigation, sprinkler system.
Okay. What else? Machineries also we use.
Ma'am, harvesters.
We
Yes,
use tractors
harvesters.
to plow the
Ma'am,
fields.
combiners,
Very
tractors.
good. Very good. Very good. See, whatever modern machineries we have, we use them because they were part of the technology which was introduced, right? And this modern methods of cultivation, it brought a kind of revolution in the agricultural sector, right? Right, class?
Okay, ma'am.
Right. So when we talk of the primitive subsistence farming, we all know that the kind of cultivation that is carried in this type of agriculture is that only traditional methods are used, traditional tools are used. Traditional tools मतलब आपके sickle हो, जो भी आपके old age जो आपके tools थे, वही उन्हीं tools को use किया जाता है for cultivation. No modern methods are used. Even the chemicals or the fertilizers are also not used. The organic manure that they attain, the manure that they prepare, or the cow dung that they use, only these are the only these are the chemicals or the fertilizers, you can say, which they use, though they are completely healthy. They do not harm the health of any of the person who consumes the food that is produced through the traditional practices, right?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Now, in this primitive subsistence, only whatever is required by the family, whatever is to be consumed within the family, very small, very less amount is produced. And the farmers, they try to produce sufficient amount of food crops, right? Then coming to the intensive part. Now see, subsistence is basically for the self-consumption, right? This self-consumption is something where the profit motive is not involved. Whatever I grow it because I love eating something that I have produced on my own, right? And I feel that what I have grown, I have not used chemicals in it, I have not used fertilizers in that. I have completely used organic matters in the production of that crop, right? Right, class?
Okay, ma'am.
Now,
Okay, ma'am.
then primitive subsistence farming, this is further categorized into two categories. One is shifting agriculture and the other is nomadic herding. Now, what is meant by shifting? Only shifting meaning. Alishba.
To move a place from its native.
To move from its original place to a new place, right? This is called shifting, right? Now, in agriculture, how can we shift the land? Can we shift the land?
No, ma'am.
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Then Vidushi, what we can shift, beta?
Those people move from one place to another and they plant crops another place.
Yes. In this shifting cultivation, the land does not move, but the people, those who cultivate the land, they shift from one place to one patch of land to another patch of land. It is done because they don't feel, but because they find that after, cultivating a land for more than 3 to 4 years continuously, right? Rotating the crops, the soil fertility is lost. The land becomes degraded, and then to make the land attain the fertility naturally, these people, they shift their cultivation process to the next nearby land that is available to them, right?
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Now, this shifting cultivation is basically practiced by those people who are the forest dwellers or the tribal groups, right? Now,
Okay, ma'am.
in this, what do? They simply, I hope the screen is clear to you all.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Now, see, what do? This patch of land that is available, they cultivate this particular patch of land for 2 to 3 years, and when the land loses its fertility completely, they shift to another patch of land. Then again same practices are repeated. Then again they shift, and ultimately by shifting from one land to another land area, they ultimately come back after, say, 30-40 years to the same patch of land which they had left long time back for regaining its natural fertility. Right?
So how they know that this is the land? And
No,
this
they
is
don't
the
know.
way?
They don't know this, but because they live in a particular, whichever land area they are living in, they know that they have a boundary of it. So ultimately, like suppose I start asking questions from Bhavya and then I keep on moving. Ultimately, when the last person is left, I will come back to Bhavya again. So same way, they don't know that this is the land that they had left long time back, but then in a process where they keep on moving, ultimately they come back to that particular land which was for the first time used by them for shifting cultivation. Right? Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Now,
So that means the land is not rotten.
land is not rotten. It is, what did you say, Bhavya?
That means it's safe.
Land is
About
safe.
the sunlight, water, and all the things that needs to grow.
See, because these are people, they live in the forest region, they practice it, and we all know that the places where we have natural good amount of thick concentration of the natural vegetation, sufficient amount of rains also take place over there, sufficient sunshine is also there, and there is no intervention, like animals, of course they are there, but then nobody is there as such to spoil the crops. And because these people, they live near the areas which they cultivate, so there is no point of harming the cultivation process also. So whatever they do it naturally. No fertilizers, no manures are uses, only the organic or the natural manures that they have, it is used. The dry leaves which are there, they use these dry leaves, and whatever wood they burn for the fuel purpose, and the ashes of that they use in the feeds. It is said that ash that we have, it contains certain minerals in it. Micronutrients are there in these ashes which support the crop. Right? Fine.
Okay, ma'am.
Now coming to the second part of this primitive subsistence farming, we have nomadic herding. Now, what is this nomadic herding? Do you know?
Moving one place to another with their cattle.
See, when we talk of the nomadic herding, we are actually talking about the nomads. We know nomads are the people, those who don't live a settled life. They keep on moving from one place to another, right? Right? Now, when we talk of the nomadic herding, we are basically talking about the nomads, those who don't cultivate much, but then they keep animals with them. They rear animals which are needed by them, which are domesticated by them for their personal uses. Like in this nomadic herding, dogs are herded by them, but these dogs, they do not, what do? They protect them. They guard.
And they protect, right, the cattle.
Yes. The cows which are reared by them, they provide them milk, right? Dairy products. Sheep gives them wool as well as milk. Then goats, they provide milk, they provide meat to these people. Then yak, in the colder regions, in the cold areas where the nomads are living, they rear yak for the various multiple uses that yak can give to them, right? Then camel is also reared by them so that they can put their heavy loads on the back of the camel and move from one place to another. I hope I am clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now coming to the intensive subsistence farming. Now this intensive subsistence farming, this is something which, okay, do you know what is meant by sparsely and what is meant by densely? Chaitanya,
yes, ma'am.
do you know what is meant by sparsely? What is the meaning of sparsely?
Ma'am, sparsely, no, ma'am. Sparsely, I don't know.
Okay, Laksh.
No, I don't know the meaning of sparsely.
Okay, Anushka Sharma, meaning of sparsely?
And I also don't know.
Okay. Anybody who knows? Alishba?
I think it's very less something.
Very
Ma'am,
less.
less.
Yes, very less. Very good. Very good. See, when we say sparsely, we are talking about something that is in very less numbers, right? And when we say densely, what do we mean by densely? Anushka,
Yes, ma'am.
what do we mean by densely?
Very dense.
Ma'am, densely.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Very dense.
Something that is very dense.
That is
Ma'am,
very
very
In a large
close.
amount.
in a large
In a
amount.
large
Ma'am,
In a large
Very
amount.
popular.
Very
Ma'am,
good.
in a large.
Very good. See, when we say sparsely, we are talking about less numbers, and when we say densely, we are talking about large number, right? Now, the places where which we have read about relief features of the earth, right? We know
yes, ma'am.
there are various landforms on the surface of earth that we live on. There are uneven terrains are there, desert regions are there, cold deserts, hot deserts, mountains, plains, hills, then plateau, valleys are there. But then, are all these places suitable for cultivation?
No, ma'am.
No. No. Very good. See, we all know that if we compare the northern parts, the northern plains of our country, this whole region is densely populated. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Tell me, Angel Anand, why this northern plains are densely populated? What could be the reason for the dense concentration of population over here? Angel Anand. Angel, are you there? Navya?
Yes, ma'am.
What could be the reason for the northern plains to be so densely populated?
Because, ma'am, everything is available easily there.
Because everything is...
Ma'am, may I tell?
Wait. Yes.
Ma'am,
Navya, come again, beta.
ma'am, agriculture is easy there and everything is available easily there.
Okay, why agriculture is easy there in the northern
Ma'am,
plains?
because they are plains.
Because they
Ma'am,
are...
like in mountain, maybe it is
Okay,
a
very
little
good.
harder.
Very good. Very good. Fine. Because they are plains, that is why agriculture is possible there. But then, okay, Aditya, what could be the another reason for the dense population of the northern plains? Aditya.
Ma'am, as the plains have plain surface, so it is easy to make buildings and roads there.
Okay.
Ma'am, for
Ma'am, even transportation.
Even
What
transportation
means-
for
is also...
establishing a town.
Ma'am, alluvial soil is also present, so agriculture is done easily.
Very good, Karthikeya. See, northern plains are densely populated because we all know that northern plains are the regions where the most fertile soil is available. And which is the most fertile soil that is available? It is the alluvial soil, right? We all know.
soil.
Yes, we all know. See, we all know this alluvial soil that we have, it is considered to be one of the most fertile soils, right? Because this soil is carried by the river waters from the mountains. The Ganga Brahmaputra basin that we have, it comes under this northern plain only, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And we all know that agriculture can be carried only in those places where the soil is fertile, where the easy availability of water is there, right?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
If you compare the whole country, you will find that the northern plains has the densest of the population. Maximum population of our country is concentrated in the West Bengal region, in Bihar, then UP,
Uttar Pradesh.
and West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar. These are the three states where the density of population is quite high. In comparison to UP, density of population is very high in Bihar. Right? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now you know why northern plains are densely populated.
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now coming to the another fact. Now see those places which are densely populated. We all know that in the states like UP, Bihar and West Bengal, the land is available, but then that land with every farmer that they have is not of sufficient amount, right? The measurement of the land is not as per the needs of the family. See, because we all know in our country we follow the system of succession, where the land that is owned by the parents is given to the children, and then to their grandchildren, then to their great grandchildren, and this process keeps on moving and moving and moving, right? So because of this, what happens? A small piece of land that is owned by one person at one time, then in the next generation that land gets divided into three parts because the person has three kids, right? Then when the next generation comes, these three will have another two. So again the land will be divided, right? And this process keeps on going on. So because in the areas which are densely populated, the land area that is available for cultivation is not very high. That is why intensive cultivation takes place. You can say intensive agriculture also, you can say intensive cultivation also, right? Now this intensive cultivation, why it takes place? Because the farmer wants to grow all the required crops on one piece of land and want to make profit as well. So when the profit motive is involved along with the fulfilling the needs, it becomes very difficult. So pressure is more on the land to provide multiple crops. I hope I am clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So intensive subsistence farming is basically done in those areas where the population concentration is more and the farmer wants to grow to fulfill the needs of the family as well as to make some profit, so that with that profit the farmer can bring seeds for the next season and so on. And this process keeps on moving and moving. And one more thing, in this intensive cultivation, modern methods are tried by the farmers. They try to implement modern methods by ensuring, chemicals, fertilizers, right? Now these chemicals and fertilizers are used by the farmers on these lands so that they can, get sufficient amount of crop that is required by them. I hope I am clear and understood.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So up till this primitive subsistence and its categorization, okay, primitive, shifting agriculture, nomadic herding, and intensive. Everything is clear and understood to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Chaliye, can we have
Yes, ma'am.
can we have the reading of types of agriculture? Can we have Bhavya reading?
Okay, ma'am. Types of farming. Different types of farming are practiced in varied environment of the world. On the basis of the aims of cultivation, there are mainly two types of agriculture, subsistence and commercial. Let us now study about these two types of farming in details. Subsistence agriculture. The type of agriculture is that practiced for the domestic consumption of the farmer is called subsistence agriculture. They may sell or exchange their product among the local community, but no commercial sale is involved. Subsistence agriculture can be classified into two types: primitive subsistence agriculture, which includes shifting agriculture and nomadic herding, and intensive subs- subsistence agriculture, shifting cultivation.
Wait, Bhavya. Can we have Ridhima reading?
Okay, ma'am. Shifting cultivation. It is a primitive method of farming practiced by tribals living in the dense tropical forest of the Congo Basin, Amazon Basin, Central America, Southeast Asia, and Northeast India. They clear a patch of forested land by cutting and burning the trees and bushes. That is why it is also known as slash and burn agriculture. Cultivation is done on this cleared land and with very primitive tools like digging sticks and hoes. Mostly tuber crops like tapioca, cassava, manioc, and yams are grown together with some maize, millets, beans, or bananas. After 3 or 4 years, the soil gets leached or covered by weeds and it becomes infertile. The people then shift to another patch of the forest where they clear a fresh patch of land. Shifting cultivation leads to deforestation and soil erosion. Therefore, many countries, including India, have banned this activity.
Okay. Anything in this to be explained?
No, ma'am.
Fine. Can we have Krishna Gupta reading the next paragraph?
Okay, ma'am. Nomadic herding. It is practiced by nomadic people who graze their animals on natural pastures. The herders move from one place to another in search of fodder.
Wait, Krishna, I forget to tell you one thing. See, this nomadic herding is very common in the grasslands, temperate and the tropical grassland areas, right? We have read in the previous chapter, no, when we read about the natural vegetation, we read about the temperate grasslands and the tropical grasslands. Now, this nomadic herding is very, very common in these grassland regions, the places, the countries where the grasslands are available, because they are the natural pastures for these animals. So wherever we have these natural pastures or the grazing lands, there this rearing of animal is done, right? And one more
Okay,
thing,
ma'am.
these nomads, because they are not the permanent settlers, they keep on moving. So during, those nomads who live in the cold regions, during the winters, they move, they divert their paths to the plains, and during the hot summer season, they go back to their native places, to the hills or to the mountainous areas, right? Chaliye, carry on, Krishna.
They raise animals like cattle, sheep, goats, camels, and yaks depending on the natural environment of the area. Nomadic herding is confined to sparsely populated parts of the world where the natural vegetation is mainly grass. It is practiced in parts of West and Central Asia, Northern Eurasia, East and Southwest Africa, and the Sahara Desert. However, the change to a settled lifestyle has reduced the importance of nomadic herding these days. The Kyrgyz and the Kazakhs of Central Asia and Bedouins and the Tuaregs of Sahara Desert, the Maasais of East Africa and the Gaddis and Bakarwals of the Himalayan region in India are some important animal herders.
Anything in this to be explained, class?
No, ma'am.
Clear and
No, ma'am.
understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Can we have Aditya reading?
Okay,
Aditya,
ma'am. Intensive subsistence agriculture. It is practiced in densely populated region of practiced in the world, mainly in the south and southeast, the Asia,
South.
including China, Japan, and India. The land holdings are usually small and farming is very intensive, using the large amount of human labor. Simple tools are used and farms machines are rare. Farmers make optimum utilization of the lands and grow 2 or 3 crops annually with the help of irrigation, high yielding varieties of seeds, natural manure, and chemical fertilizers. The major crop grown by the methods are rice, wheat, millets, oilseeds, cotton, and sugarcane.
Okay. Anything in this not clear, not understood? I hope everything is clear and understood.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Fine. See, because we are left with very less time, I don't want to start with the next topic, commercial, because I have not explained also. One thing I want to ask you, class, have you all made the map work, the maps that I gave you?
Yes, ma'am.
Because see, for your half yearlies, no, for your half yearlies, the chapters that are coming in the exams, I have given map work also from those chapters. So if you have not done the map work, please do that and give an everyday practice for just 5 or 10 minutes for the map work can do wonders for you. You people can easily remember the places, the states, the parts which are to be marked. If you are giving only 10 minutes out of 24 hours, just 10 minutes to the map work, it is going to help you in your higher classes as well. And it will increase your general knowledge level also. If you know the location of the places of the states, then the capitals that are there, right? Because in a student's life, I think this thing is very important. You need to know about the countries, about the states, about the capitals, right? And map
Okay, ma'am.
beta
Okay,
map work I
ma'am.
have given for 5 marks. So 5 marks is a good amount, good number. So if you can give it a practice and tell me, when should I take the map test exclusively for this half yearly wala thing, other than the revision part? Because I know there are many students, those who don't practice these maps regularly.
Ma'am, after this chapter.
Fine. After this
Ma'am,
chapter,
only the maps.
only the map part,
Ma'am,
only the map part, nothing else, only the
No,
map.
ma'am.
Ah.
Ma'am, the maps done in the notebook will only come now.
The ones that I gave you from the book only, like just to tell you, there are, I think there are 2 maps in the mineral and power resources chapter. One is for the world,
Yes, ma'am.
countries were marked, and in the India one, you have to mark certain states, which I gave you, right? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Then for this natural vegetation type also, we have map on 158, and I told you to mark this, do this map in the notebook.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Yes, ma'am. Then chapter 3, you have the distribution of rainfall, global distribution of rainfall. This map also I told you to mark.
Multi-purpose project.
And the multi-purpose projects of India, right? 2 maps. Then chapter 2, you have the various soil types. And I think one diagram also you have for this.
Yes, ma'am. Soil profile.
Soil profile.
Plus a table that gives you the formation characteristics, regions and crops grown in a particular land, in a particular soil type, right?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine.